In the first half of 2026, the enterprise software market named its own panic. The SaaSpocalypse triggered a violent derating of application software that erased nearly $2 trillion in market value in a matter of months. This chart tracks the market capitalization of the 30 largest software companies. Look at the fracture in February 2026. Over the next 6 months, 20 of these companies lost roughly $1.8 trillion, even as 10 others simultaneously gained nearly $1 trillion. This derating operated independently of reported financial health. In May, Intuit beat quarterly earnings expectations and raised forward guidance. The stock still fell, losing more than half its value by June to become the worst performer in the S&P 500. The prevailing market narrative behind this panic was simple. Investors assumed that general-purpose AI agents would replicate guided workflows and destroy the traditional SaaS business model. This market reaction is pricing in a structural reality, but the industry's assumed mechanism of destruction is wrong. The crash is not a reaction to the current quarter's earnings. It is a fundamental repricing of the terminal state of the software industry. Software incumbents are not dying because they refuse to adopt AI or lack the technological skill to compete with startups. In the last 18 months, the major platforms have successfully shipped frontier AI assistants and rolled out sophisticated agentic features. The existential threat is a structural break in unit economics. Incumbents are caught in a mathematical trap called the Squeeze Theorem, a pricing collision that is systematically destroying enterprise value. This is a story about an incompatible pricing model facing an entirely new type of buyer. The traditional enterprise application stack is a bundle of 3 assets: an authoritative database at the foundation, proprietary business logic in the middle, and a graphical user interface at the top. This interface was once a core moat. Moving an enterprise meant the immense organizational pain of retraining thousands of employees on new screens and workflows. When the primary user is an AI agent, the interface becomes an operational liability. Agents forced to navigate a human interface incur a token tax. This massive compute cost is required to simulate human clicks instead of using structured data. The middle layer of business logic is also commoditizing. Frontier models reproduce standard workflows on demand. Simultaneously, open lakehouses allow external systems to query application data directly. This leaves the application structurally thinned out. Its remaining defendable moat is restricted to authoritative write access, the right to officially change the record. This is the only genuine lock-in left in the bundle. Because the traditional SaaS bundle has been stripped down to a single defensible layer, incumbents are radically altering how they grant access to their systems. Most analysts assume that legacy incumbents will protect themselves by retreating behind closed, proprietary walled gardens. The empirical evidence says the opposite. Major incumbents like Salesforce and ServiceNow are now moving toward interoperability, adopting open protocols to reach these new agentic users. Over the last year, these platforms have adopted standard protocols like MCP and A2A gateways, allowing outside agents to connect directly to their data. However, these open pipes are immediately threaded back through proprietary identity and governance tools. To use the open connection, every external agent must first register with the incumbent's registry. This registry serves as a meter. Actions that used to be covered by a seat license are now billed through new consumption meters, tracked in currencies like assist or flex credits. The infrastructure has shifted from a closed garden to a series of toll plazas. It is an architecture designed to tax machine-scale traffic rather than support it. Every major platform is now attempting to be the hub. ServiceNow positions itself as the agent of agents, while Workday claims to be the registrar for everyone else's digital workforce. They are building competing centers. This creates topological gridlock. An agent attempting to complete a cross-platform workflow must pay a separate toll and clear a separate governance gate at every single hop. The industry is preserving gridlock to maintain pricing control. A human knowledge worker faces physical limits. An agent assigned to a business process monitors continuously, reconciles in bulk, and operates at blinding speeds. A human employee interacts with an application dozens of times a day. At this volume, per-interaction economics are invisible. An agent baseline function requires tens of thousands of interactions a day. This is a discontinuity of 3 orders of magnitude. This creates the toll problem. To protect their legacy profit and loss statements, incumbents are reverse engineering their old per-seat revenue into high per-action consumption rates. Applying those rates to machine-scale traffic produces an exponentially growing invoice. No rational customer will pay human-era tariffs for machine-era volume. Unlike a human employee, an AI orchestrator is explicitly programmed to algorithmically minimize the cost per completed task. The algorithmic buyer routes around the toll. It extracts data once and caches it in an open substrate, or it chooses cheaper agent-native alternatives to complete the workflow. For the first time in the history of commercial software, the marginal user reads the price list, compares routes, and actively bypasses expensive infrastructure. To justify a high valuation multiple, a software company must prove two things: durable long-term growth and a high terminal profit margin. The Squeeze Theorem forces every incumbent onto one of two branches. The first branch is to hold the toll line. High pricing protects current margins, but suppresses machine volume. Orchestrators route around the meter, bleeding share and destroying the growth metric. The second branch is to price for machines. Dropping prices captures volume and defends market share. However, these rates fail to cover the legacy cost structure, which deflates the margin metric. Defending growth and margins simultaneously is arithmetically impossible when facing new challengers who have nearly zero development costs and no seat revenue to protect. The incumbents are facing an asymmetric war. Their AI-native challengers have nearly zero development costs and no legacy profit margins to protect. These challengers do not need to build a better product. Their business plan relies on the incumbent keeping its prices high to protect its own P&L. If an incumbent holds the toll line to protect its margins, cost-sensitive agents will route around them, share decays, and growth stalls. If the incumbent drops its rates to marginal cost to win the agent volume, it can defend its share, but the margin structure built for the seat era collapses. Because both of these paths structurally impair enterprise value, the broader market is violently derating the equity today. The market capitalization data from the first half of 2026 provides the empirical proof of this theorem playing out in real time. High AI name recognition provided no protection. Industry leaders like Microsoft and Palantir fell sharply in the first half of the year, regardless of their association with the technology. The single dividing line that dictated market performance was the denomination of revenue. The heavy decliners, Salesforce, Workday, Intuit, share a fatal flaw. Their revenue is denominated in human seats and human-performed workflows, a denominator that agentic substitution shrinks. The gainers, Datadog, Cloudflare, Fortinet, share the opposite advantage. Their revenue scales directly with machine activity, telemetry, and compute. Look at Datadog's 94% gain compared to ServiceNow's 32% loss. Observing machine activity is now more valuable to investors than routing human tickets. The SaaSpocalypse is a warning to every legacy provider. When the user reads the price list, revenue tied to human limits becomes a melting asset, while revenue tied to machine activity captures the only growth left in the market. By maintaining these human-era tolls, incumbents are providing the exact economic incentive needed for open-source workarounds to thrive. This gridlock will likely be resolved by a peer-to-peer agentic mesh, a decentralized architecture that routes around the toll plazas entirely. That mesh is the subject of our next report.